While Goans were up in arms fighting against the Mhadei River diversion by Karnataka, Herald TV in its Ground Zero had shown how fresh trouble is brewing inside the protected Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary in Valpai. In a special investigation carried out by Herald TV, we showed how sand is being mined illegally in the lush green jungle areas. The High Court of Bombay at Goa has ordered the Forest Department to investigate into the detailed Herald report of sand mining inside Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. The High Court has asked the officials to inspect the sites and take immediate action if the allegations are true. High Court was hearing the petition filed by the Goa Rivers and Sand Protectors Network led by Claude Alvarez of the Goa Foundation. Claude Alvarez referred to the reports in Herald Daily on 17th May and 2nd June 2023 that speaks about illegal sand mining in Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. The High Court said, "We request the Advocate General to see that the concerned officials of Forest Department and the concerned nodal officer to inspect the site or the sites referred to in the newspaper reports and ascertain whether the reports are true. If the reports are true, then, needless to add, that the officials must take immediate action considering that the allegation is about such illegal activity within the wildlife sanctuary." The matter has now been posted for 11th July.
Destruction of the environment, no? All our trees, everything is falling here.
Correct.
I have given various reasons, why shouldn't they? You restore the land bank here. You use that sand, and put concrete along the banks. Restore the banks first, and then after you do your sand mining. Because what has happened, in Karwar, Kanpur, everywhere throughout the world, they have stopped that. Now, what is the demand for sand mining? Now, if you see the illegal constructions that are maturing in Goa, that has to be arrested. And this is directly linked, to these illegal constructions that are taking place. They're giving house numbers to illegal, this thing, illegal, then they, what is that, regularization of illegal structures. What do you mean by this thing? These are not laws, no? These are corrupt methods of doing things.
Correct.
I mean, if it's illegal, it's illegal. No, you don't restore illegal things. Each boat, fetches them almost a lakh of rupees per day. Our fellow had 5 boats, 5 lakhs of rupees. 5 lakhs multiplied by 30 days, it comes to about, 3 the amount of money that is involved.
Evidence from multiple areas in the sanctuary has pointed out to how sand is being mined from the river banks of the sanctuary. Heaps and heaps, whether large or small, are found all along the river banks, all sifted and ready to be sold to the highest bidder at a premium, minus any regulation or regulator. Furthermore, fresh tire marks of trucks and four-wheelers reveal the rampant abuse and exploitation. In the absence of monitoring systems and invisible presence of forest guards, Mhadei is being looted and plundered.
One of the key important problems that the Mhadei faces today is the cutting down of the vegetation within the wildlife sanctuary, and then you have trees such as cashew nuts as well as betel nuts that are grown in its place. This is definitely not allowed, but you have several people who do so. Towards my right is in fact a plantation where you have betel nuts that have been planted. There were earlier very important trees that are part of the ecosystem of the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary, but all of that has been now chopped. A few meters behind me, there, as you see, are multiple honeycombs where you have honeybees, which are an important indicator as far as the environment is concerned. And just as you see, as trees are continuing to be cut, it is definitely an imminent danger to these honeybees. There you see trees that have been burnt. This took place some time ago. Now I've been speaking to some of the villagers although they are not ready to come on camera, what they have been telling us is that yes, there are certain elements or certain other villagers who burn these trees, regularly. And after that, the modus operandi works as such. What they do is during the monsoons, they will chop these trees. The logs are then thrown into this water, into one of the tributaries of the Mhadei, which then makes its way along the rough streams. After that, you have trees such as the cashew nut trees, which are then brought in and planted at various places here for their commercial value. All of this is being done without any permission or without any monitoring systems. So at the end of the day, the key question being asked is that who all are part of this entire racket? This is one of the streams that runs through the Mhadei sanctuary, and as you can see here behind me, there are fresh tracks of, in fact, vehicles that have gone, which are believed to be engaged in the illegal trade of the sand. These, in fact, are fresh track marks that you can see that have been throughout this entire sort of area. There are footprints of these tracks that have been going on, and clearly no action being taken at the highest level. We have shown you multiple areas from inside the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary where the sand is being mined illegally. But this is the biggest area by and far that we have noticed. You can see there behind me. This is where, in fact, the sand was dug up. You can see it's become like a sort of a pit. And from there, you have the sand that is being brought and then dumped here towards my left-hand side. You can see this entire mound of sand that is lying here, which is when it is then transported illegally. Now, this has been going on for quite some time, is what we are given to understand, and clearly the authorities have turned a blind eye. This entire heap of sand, you will notice at different sort of areas inside the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary, and has been going on for quite some time. The Mhadei issue is not just about humans versus wildlife or the trees. It is much beyond. Sometimes it is also about humans versus humans. Here you can see this board behind me, which says that there is no entry for the forest department, clearly hitting out at the forest guards as well as other officials, denying them any sort of entry into this village. Now, this is an illegal board, but what we are picking up from the locals here, what they've been saying is that they've been staying here for many years and would not want the forest department to allow. As such, when you have boards that have been put up by the locals themselves, which is in a way banning the entry of forest officials, one can understand what much more might be taking place within the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary without any monitoring systems from the forest department. Clear water and almost zero presence of fish, although in some pockets one might see fish in smaller quantities. One of the reasons that the locals tell us is that in the past, and sometimes even recently, that there are gelatin sticks that are used for fishing, and that has led to a depletion in the number of fish across the various tributaries of the River Mhadei. When the Forest Department of Goa was contacted by Herald TV, here is what top sources had to say. Better engagement is required with local stakeholders. One single forest guard has to monitor from 14 to up to 17 kilometers of stretch, that too in a difficult terrain. No proper monitoring facilities for forest guards, especially at night. Inadequate manpower. No proper ration, toilet, vehicle, as well as medical facilities for an already inadequate staff.
The Panchayat had flatly denied any wrongdoing but admitted that the sand being mined was done so by locals for their own construction activities. Panchayat also maintains that the sand was not being transported outside the sanctuary, although conclusive proof says otherwise. Goa's saviors of ecosystems such as Rajendra Kerkar and Claude Alvarez have already taken cognizance of the loot through the Goa River Sand Protectors Network. What makes matters worse is the alleged use of gelatin sticks in waters, both for mining and unauthorized fishing. Minimal presence of fish in the area points to the same.
At the Herald TV, here we had investigated about various illegal activities that were going on within the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. One of those key topics was about illegal sand mining that was rampant across different areas of the riverbanks of the Mhadei River. Now the Goa River Sand Protectors Network, through its learned advocates, has approached the Bombay High Court, which is the Goa bench, asking about this illegal sand mining that has been going on within the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, based upon these two reports that were conducted by the Herald TV, both in May as well as in June, the High Court has directed the Forest Department to conduct an investigation and inspect all of these various areas to ascertain in case if these reports are true, which is simply means that the Bombay High Court has taken into consideration this investigation by Herald TV. Therefore, the Forest Department has now been compelled to conduct its own inspection at various different sites and find out about this illegal rampant mining that has been going on of the sand within the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. And post that, once the inspection has been carried out by the Forest Department, the matter will then be heard on the 11th of July. So clearly, if one looks at it, it is not just limited to water, which is what we've been saying right from the start through our investigation, that Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary and the river is beyond that. Not just at one place, but various different places we have seen proof, ample proof of how not just trucks coming onto the riverbanks, but how you have even fresh tire marks within the protected sanctuary. Besides that, there has also been, through our investigation, one has seen of how different equipment was found on the riverbanks of the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary at different villages within Walpoi. So clearly, the Bombay High Court has taken that into consideration and has directed the Forest Department of the Government of Goa to conduct its inspection, and now the matter will be heard on the 11th of July.
With the matter now in court, all eyes are set on the inspection of the Forest Department and their findings that will prove the illegal activity in Mhadei. Bureau Report, Herald TV.